What is your hair type? I want to know how I can be in a Dhar Mann video. Tommy wants to know my height. He's saying he has a crush on me and wants to know if we'll have dinner someday. Your eyes are beautiful. Why are they different colored? Oh, okay. Lena Mvula says, does the Holy Spirit talk to me as a friend, or is his job just to convict me? I think he does both. I think he convicts you as a friend. I think it goes hand in hand, that he convicts you as a friend. You know, if you have a really good friend and they see you're about to do something that's not good for you, that's harmful, that could hurt you, they're going to be like, bro, wait a minute. Think about what you're about to do. It's not good for you. You're going to, you know, not because they want to punish you, but they want to see what's best for you. So I think the Holy Spirit is a friend and they convict you. I think it's both. I don't think it's one or the other. Next question. Were you born with two different color eyes? I'm so sorry. Let us see Boaz. Yes, I was born that way, I think. Yeah, I've never known myself to ever have eyes that matched. In my childhood pictures, I have two different colored eyes. So, yeah, I would say I was born that way. It could be that I had same eyes when I was born and they just got different as I got older. I don't know. That would be a question for my mom, I guess. Okay, Julene 12 wants to know if I'm scared of spiders. Not really. I think cockroaches are worse. California has a lot of cockroaches. Okay, how to overcome challenges faced to achieving your own dreams. Hannah, that is a wonderful question, Hannah El-Sheba. And I do a lot of videos on that, so that's a big question, so I won't answer that here. Okay, how did you become an actor and how did you meet Dhar Mann? That's from Dark Fox 107. I became an actor, I did a play in high school, I did a couple, grade school. And I just felt like acting is what I was supposed to do with my life when I graduated high school. So I met Dhar Mann when I was filming for him, and he was on set one day, and I introduced myself, and I had auditioned for them over video. Like, I sent in my audition tape. I didn't audition in person, so I didn't meet him before I got hired for him before I started working for him. Okay, here's a great question. Our Donna Josie asks, what would you be if you weren't an actor? Obviously, for those of you who know me, I'd probably be an author, which I am, a motivational speaker, which I am, and those of you who know me kind of well would know I would probably be a preacher. I was actually going to Bible school, studying to become a pastor before I started acting, so I was doing a church service for inmates at the local county jail every Sunday for about 5 years before I moved to Los Angeles. Okay. Oh, Sanjur's Ekamp 98. How long did it take you to accept the way you are? That's a great question. I wish I could say I just accepted myself in high school, but honestly, it took a long time. I didn't like myself in high school. I didn't like myself in my 20s. I didn't like myself for half of my 30s, so I just started liking myself recently, and I encourage you guys to not follow in my footsteps, but to start liking and loving yourself now, just the way you are. If there's things you don't care for about yourself, fix them, improve them, change them, get better at them, like I'm trying to get better at organizing myself. But if it's something you can't do anything about, like your eye color or your skin color, be kind to yourself, love yourself, and accept yourself just the way you are. All right, Cowie2267 asks, did you ever get in trouble with the police when you were a teenager? Yes, I did. One time, and I got a ticket, and I had to go to court because I was riding my moped around without a license, and I had one of my friends on the front handlebars of my moped, and I had another friend on the back hand. I didn't have a helmet. I didn't have a license. I don't even know what else I was doing wrong. I think there was more things. So we had to like, there was fines involved. Otherwise I would have had to do community service. All right, Vishwas Agaral wants to know, what's the secret behind my smile? You know what? The secret behind my smile is I know God is on my corner because I put him first. And I know that no matter what happens, everything is going to turn out to be okay. Romans 8:28 says that all things work together for the good for those who love him and who are called according to his purpose. So that's the reason I can smile, is because I know everything is going to be okay. Marvel Armin wants to know my skincare routine. I try to wash my face. I do wash my face when I have makeup on. So it's not every day. I do use a toner. I don't have specific brands of stuff because I just get whatever's convenient. But I will say I try to get all natural stuff. I try to get organic stuff. I try not to put a lot of chemicals on my face. I do try to wear moisturizer. I recently, a couple years ago, started wearing sunscreen. I wish I would have started sooner because I can see some aging effects and sun damage. So I wish I would have started that sooner. So I don't have any specific brands I can recommend, but I do cleanse once in a while. I do use like a freshener or a toner, and I do use moisturizer. That's about it. And what's really good for your face, I don't do it as often as I should, is running an ice cube over your face. That actually helps more than toner. It helps like tighten your pores and stuff. And I got a few facials last year, and I think that really helped my skin. I have kind of big pores. I don't know if you can see, but my pores are bigger than I'd like them to be. So I got facials where they stick the little, they kind of poke you with little needles. It's called micro needling. So they just like poke little needles, and I guess the purpose of that is that it's just puts little injuries to your skin. It's like getting just poking a little needle all over your face. You can actually buy those skin poking rollers on the internet. I have one. You can just buy one. Supposedly what it does is when you get the little pokes in your skin, it forces your body to come heal that area, and it forces your body to make more collagen. That's what I'm told anyway. So, but I do notice a difference after I had those. My foundation started going on smoother, and it stopped sinking into my pores so much. Do you like the MCU movies? Sharp Slam asks. I don't know what that is. Is that a Marvel comic universe? Is that what MCU? Did I guess right? I've seen a few. They're good. I tend to go more for storylines than action, so they're okay. Okay, so Ninrila wants to know what my dreams are. I have a lot of dreams. I have a dream to write 77 books. Boy, how am I going to do that before my life's over? I only got 3 out. That means I got 74 to go. I dream that my kids will grow up and be able to take care of themselves, and that they'll love the Lord, and that they'll follow in their purpose and meet the right people, and they won't get hurt. I have a lot of dreams. I mean, some of these questions, guys, I could do entire videos on. Would you like that? Answer in the comments if there's certain questions that I kind of glossed over because I was trying to get through them. So leave in the comments if you want me to do like full videos on a certain one of these topics, and tell me what it is, because that's another one I could do a full video on. All right, Anishka Pyra 2 asks me, you're not actually a Karen, right? No, I hope not. I try not to be. I don't think so. You can ask anyone that knows me. I think they would say no. Okay. What is it like acting on Dhar Mann? You know, it's nice, it's consistent, it's fun. The crew is nice. They're forgiving if you mess up. They don't hold it against you. They don't yell. They don't bark at you like a lot of movie sets. Like, there's not infighting. There's not jealousy. It's like the opposite of like a lot of Hollywood stuff I've worked on. It's very chill. Everyone's nice and supportive, and I think it's a really good place to work. Demon of Death on YT asks, how do you act so well? you know, it's years of practice, years of going to class, getting private coached, and a lot of experience in over 100, maybe 150 projects even before I started working for Dhar Mann. So I think experience has a lot to do with it. And then I try to just embody the character. Okay, engineer Mohammed Azami asks, have you ever published any podcasts? I've been interviewed on some, but I have never done my own. I was going to do one with a friend of mine, but she moved to Las Vegas. So, I mean, I guess we could do it remotely, but it's not on the agenda anytime soon. It's Kiara 12 asks, what is your favorite color? It's turquoise. Yad Allen Mustafa asks, do you know Kurdish country? I don't know that. I don't know that place. Maybe you can tell me about it. Okay, Tanner Wood 189 asks, how long have you been living in California? 20 years now. I came right after high school. So right after high school, I moved here, and so it's been like 20 years. Do you like India? Tarek 52. I've never been there, but I probably would like it. From what I do know about it, it seems like a nice place. Okay, Mikael asks what about my ultimate goal and dream is. Well, I did mention the 77 books. I used to have a lot more dreams regarding acting, but I'm kind of moving in a different direction, and I'm looking at maybe being a filmmaker. I mean, I am a filmmaker. I've made a lot of short films, but I'm looking at maybe directing movies. So my goals have shifted from big like acting dreams to like making my own movies and doing like being in control of all the actors, how everything, kind of a big picture kind of thing. Okay, I'm not going to ask this. Some people are asking me the same questions. I'm not going to repeat them, but I will give Anna H294 a shout out. Black Child 1104 asks, how is it changing people's lives every single video at a time? I feel like it was part of my purpose and calling. I feel like it's something I was born to do, whether through Dhar Mann or whether through any other things that I end up doing. Sometimes people have even said that about my own advice videos. Hopefully you've gotten some benefits out of the life experiences I've shared and the advice I give. But you know what? It's really satisfying. It's really fulfilling to put things out there that aren't just entertaining, but also make a difference in people's lives. Okay, how did you become so positive? Tucker Judy asks. That's the only thing I can think of. Well, when I realized I had a choice and that I could choose to be positive or I could choose to be negative, I decided to choose positive. We all have a choice in life. We can choose to look at whatever we're going through in a negative light, or we can look at it in a positive light. And I chose the one that makes me happy. So knowing you guys have a choice in life, what are you going to choose? You have the option. Okay, how many rooms in your house? Cam Nico 041 asks. Well, I have a 6-bedroom house, 6 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, but I live in the front part of the house. In the front part of the house is 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, plus a living room, kitchen, and dining room. The back part of my house is a separate area with a separate door. I use that as a rental house, so I rent that out to people who need a place to stay. So I have 3 rooms in the guest house, and those are rented to 3 different people. All right, Mischief 33 asks, can you share your testimony of seeking the Lord? I think that would be a full video by itself. Okay, what is your greatest fear? My greatest fear, I am Debs 1996, is that I will not live up to my full potential. My greatest fear is that I won't live the life God called me to live, that I will fall short, that I won't take the chances I should take, that I will let fear stop me, that I won't impact the people I'm supposed to impact, that I won't be pleasing to God. That is my greatest fear, is can I live up to what God thinks of me? How to not let my fears and insecurities, my thoughts that I don't have the ability to do stuff, to let that stop me from what God put me on this earth to do. I don't ever want to let that happen. All right, the Squad fam. You asked, would I give advice to your kids about dating? that sounds like a whole video by itself. Sorry, I'm moving around trying to get comfy. So I'll wait on that. Show your family pictures, Glory of Life 1718 says. You know, I think you can, I'll start putting more family stuff, but if you guys check out my Facebook under Catherine Norland or Cat Norland, and check out my Instagram, I think you'll see plenty of family pictures. So check that out. Okay. Jirka Young One wants to know how I became a believer. I will have to, I think that's a separate video too, because, you know, we're telling a whole story. Okay. Hussein Merchant 5 wants to know, what was the very first video you acted in for Dhar Mann? That was one in the elevator, and I wouldn't let Carl into the elevator because I didn't like the way he was looking at my daughter, who was played by Mare. Good. Fine.
Is that a cheerleading uniform?
Mm-hmm.
What school do you go to?
Okay, that is enough. That was my very first Dhar Mann video. Carl was the man and my daughter was Mare, and I think if I remember right, Vin was the college administrator person. Okay, next question. Can we have a private one-on-one talk? I've been dying to do this, Lion Cheetah wants to know. I get so many requests, I cannot fulfill them all. I have private coaching clients, and I help people one-on-one through my private coaching, but I don't have time to do that for every person who asks. I barely have time to schedule in the people who are paying me to coach them and be their life coach and help them with their goals, so I would not be able to do that for everyone. Okay, how difficult does it become to overcome an evil character you play in real life because you have a good heart? Vrager109 asks this. You know, at the end of the day, I just try to leave the bad characters on set and not take it with me. So I think that's the key. Don't take that with you, and do not be a method actor. You heard of method actors? They try to do in real life so that they like embody their character more, that they try to like be like that in real life. I would say don't do that. All right, Sean Lee 06 asks how you deal with bullying. I think that's a video by itself. I have talked about bullying a few times in my lives, but that's a good idea that I make a video just on that topic. So thank you for bringing that up. I'll put that on my list. I have a long list of questions you guys have asked me that need separate videos, so I will work on that when I have some time. Okay. What's the most embarrassing moment you had? This is Damien Aragon. I used to have a bladder problem in grade school, and I used to pee my pants a lot. I had to have surgery for it eventually. So I would say that was embarrassing because we had to go to the nurse's office when we peed our pants, and they would put us in these green corduroy pants. So once you had those pants on at school, everybody knew you must have peed your pants. So walking around in the school nurse green corduroys, to me that was, I mean, I'm sure I've had a lot of embarrassing moments since, but that stuck with me a lot from grade school. I had embarrassing moments as actors, probably blowing auditions and things like that, but you know, that's just the way it is. Okay, R-Met3, how did you start working as an actor, and when will we get a chance of a video call with you? Okay, video calls, that's only for my private coaching clients, but I started working as an actor. I started an acting class, and then once I moved to LA, I just started auditioning for every single thing I could think of. Every project that would have me audition for it, I took pretty much every job that was offered to me, unless it was like really vulgar or disgusting or nudity or anything like that. But I pretty much took any job initially just to start out. Okay, it's me, Rule Ryan asks, I want to become an actor, but I'm very shy and don't have money. Can you give me any suggestions? I just made a video on how to become an actor, and it'll probably be up before this one, so you'll see it. Okay, Philip Martinez 2002 asks, have you ever said something that you regret to someone? Also, how do you deal with haters? Yes, many times I have said something that I've regretted. I'm doing it a lot less now, but I have in the past. Dealing with haters, you know what? I have a video on that. Please search my channel, type in the word like haters, how do you deal with haters? I do have a video on that. All right, ma'am, how do you become a successful writer? I could tell you when I become one, but I haven't become one yet. So in this case, I would say Tanya Yoshi 69. I would say just go to YouTube and type in how do you become a successful writer, or go to YouTube or Google and type in how do you become a successful writer. I bet you'll find hundreds of videos and things like that. All right. Okay, OMG Ray asks, how can you have so many different emotions, or also like not break out of character? Sometimes I break out of character. I just try to let whatever emotions come up that I might be feeling. I try to think of what this character would feel at the time. I try to take in what the other character is doing and see how that affects me and react to it. There's like 3 parts to acting, and there's how you act, but then there's also how you react, and there's also the parts where you're thinking about it and taking it in. So you have to think, you have to listen to what they're saying, and you have to take that in. That's one kind of reaction, because you might be thinking, are they serious? I can't believe they're saying this to me right now. How dare they? These are all thoughts you have, which is one emotion. Then what you decide to do with that, I'm gonna show them. Then you have that kind of like the thoughts you have of how you're gonna respond, and you make that choice. And then you have the third thing, which is how you're responding. And maybe you decide, how dare they say that? I'm gonna show them something. But then you change it up and say, no, I'm gonna pretend like everything is fine. Like you didn't hurt me at all. So my acting coach, who recently passed away, God rest his soul, he said the best actors are the ones that give you more bits of information.